everyone, and welcome to this inaugural episode of the Warhammer Workshop podcast. My name is Amy Frost, and I am joined by my longtime friend, teammate, hobby enabler, JF Dubo. JF, hello.
Hello, Amy. Thank you for for casting me in such a glorious light.
Yeah.
So this podcast was kind of your idea, right? This is going to be our companion podcast for all the videos that we make on the Warhammer Workshop YouTube channel. Do you want to describe to the listeners what you're expecting out of this?
So I think for this, one of the things that I want us to do is, first of all, it'll be more regular content, whereas a lot of the videos we have are sort of based off of what we get from GW at any given time. This is going to be a regular sort of thing. If we don't have something new to talk about, we'll cover more sort of general topics or whatever we feel like. I also expect that we're going to cover...
Is this a place where I can go into like wild speculations when we have the time?
Absolutely. That is my favorite part.
I miss that.
Yeah. And so it'll, we'll cover some of the same stuff that we'll cover in other individual videos, but we're also going to cover the gamut of Games Workshop. We're going to do 40K. We're going to do some Age of Sigmar. We'll do all of the box games. We'll do Horus Heresy, whatever we feel like. We're doing it. It's going to be great. I'm very excited.
It's going to be awesome. I've missed podcasting with you on the regular for whatever game we're being crazy about. Now, one of the things that we could disclose is the fact that you and I we're both Warhammer and Games Workshop fans.
Yeah.
I don't want to say we're sycophants. We're not. Like, whenever Games Workshop does something stupid or makes a business decision that is not exactly great, we will call them out on it. I've particularly been fond of accusing them of leaving money on the table by releasing the wrong products.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you what we've agreed that what we will not be is the kind of podcast or video. This is kind of like the philosophy for Warhammer Workshop in general. While we are going to be honest about how Games Workshop is doing things and their releases, how we feel about them, we will not be hate baiting. We're not going to be indulging in the anger, the outrage baiting that we see a lot on YouTube. We're going to call them out on what they do wrong, but we're mostly here to celebrate the hobby, not dunk on it.
Yeah, we're not going to be mad to be mad. There's no need for that.
We're going to try to figure out why they do the things they do, whether they're good ideas or bad ideas.
Yeah.
And we're more here for the discussion than we are for other things.
We're going to nerd out about this hobby together, so we might as well let other people join us.
Exactly. We're doing this anyways. So I'm going to ask you, probably your favorite question in the hobby. I'm going to ask you to justify yourself as a hobbyist. I mean, clearly we need to demonstrate that we belong here and we're in the right place. So Amy, what's your history?
I feel like I always feel like the new guy, right? But it has been over 15 years, which I guess like compared to some is not that long, but it has been 15 years. So I feel like I'm all right now. I am what is colloquially known as a hobby magpie, which means that I get easily distracted by the new shiny thing. I think in terms of like chaos is what got me into the hobby, especially Chaos Demons, which at the time you couldn't play by themselves, which was a bummer. I have a deep love of orcs because the orc life, it chooses you. But I have a little of everything. If I'm honest, the only thing that I'm not like super into are Guard and Space Marines, and even there's exceptions in both of those. So I'm kind of everywhere. And if we talk about over on the Sigmar side, it gets even worse, honestly. It's a little of everything. I keep telling myself that the box games like Kill Team and Warcry that's my savior, right? Like, oh, good, I can just do like, a dozen models or so, but we all know that it's going to be worse than that, and that's fine. So here I am.
It scratches the itch in the same way that you can scratch a mosquito bite, but it'll just come back harder later.
Yeah.
But that's not it. Your background goes deeper. You've worked several years for a hobby store, basically being the Games Workshop interface for the store, I believe.
I used to run hobby clinics. I went to PAX Unplugged and ran my basing workshop. That was a heck of a lot of fun. Oh geez, yeah. I forgot that I did that.
I ran fun than we give it credit.
Yeah, we're gonna at some point we'll get back into talking about basing because it can be a lot of fun if you want it to be. I ran a hobby summer camp at the store, which was designed around taking basically a squad box of anything that you wanted and going from gray plastic to fully painted and based models. So yeah, I've been doing the hobby for myself and other people for an awful long time now.
And
in addition
the most important thing,
the team tournament, baby. Adepticon.
That's what I was gonna say. Like the most important thing is that you've been my on and off teammate whenever you've been able to make it to Adepticon for the team tournament and just for general Adepticon shenanigans.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my. I guess that's everything I do, right? That seems like a lot.
I mean, we're also hosts on the 40K radio podcast. Yep. I feel it's worth mentioning, even though this is a different podcast doing different things. But we've both been hosting another Games Workshop podcast for a long while now.
I stream painting sometimes, not enough.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, maybe this podcast will drive you to stream more painting, because I know usually like a lot of people like to see what you're doing because you have a very unique approach to painting.
It's chaotic. I like it. What about you? You're like you just got into this, right?
I got into this in Yonder Days of 3rd edition.
Heck yeah.
I almost got in during Rogue Trader. My actual true origin story dates back to when I was in my early preteens, and I got myself some Skaven, which was one of the only box of plastic models you could get. I had some Metal Terminators, and I had grand ambitions to actually play the game until I realized how difficult the models were to get at that time.
Yeah.
The one thing that we did get was the original Necromunda and the Outlander, the expansion that you had for it, for which I had painted some Spirers and I was planning on painting some rat skin. Remember rat skins, guys? No, you don't. I barely do. I think I still have those models. Although I did pull one apart to get a bit for something for conversion. But I only really got back into it during 3rd edition when the Tau released. I started playing Tau, and it's been downhill from there. So it's been easily over 2 decades. My relationship with Games Workshop and Warhammer 40,000 is longer than any other relationship I have that is not with my immediate family. I currently collect Tyranids, Tau Empire, the Adeptus Mechanicus, some Eldaris. I have some Chaos Knights from recently. I think I'm forgetting some other things. And I'm deep into it. I used to play Warhammer Fantasy, which was a great game. I loved the movement of that. But ever since it's become Age of Sigmar, I haven't had time to sit down and rebase, say, the 100 goblins I have to round bases or learn the rules properly. But it is in one of my myriad plans of things to do. I've been doing Adepticon I went to my 10th Adepticon in 2022, and 2023 is going to be my 10th time doing the team tournament. And so I've been going to Adepticon about 12, 13 years. It is hobby New Year. It is my second Christmas. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. And I have a nasty habit of always wanting to bring something new, which, as you can imagine, means just a bunch of painting on my part. So yeah, I'm a terrible player. No one wants me on their team because I'm bad at strategy and knowing what the game does. But I'm an adequate painter. I love to convert, so I'm good to have on your team if you're trying to win best painted or best theme and presentation or any of these more peripheral victories.
You're fun to play with, though. Like, you're fun to play with. Like, we're not gonna win.
I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I've won games. Plural.
It's a beer and
I'm
pretzels
getting
game,
better.
and you play it like a beer and pretzels game, and that's how we roll.
Mostly
We
the
are
beer.
bottom bracket players, and we like it that
Yes.
way.
It's where it's fun.
Mhm.
But aside from that, that's my history. And I've only come to terms recently with the fact that I am one of the very old guard, as I've been reading some complaints from other old time players saying, well, they changed the lore since 6th edition, and being very upset that they've been here since 6th edition, so long ago. And already Games Workshop is changing lore. And I'm just thinking, oh, you sweet summer child. Lore has been in flux, my friend. Lore has been changing nonstop for 2+ decades. So
I think that's one of the things that makes me feel like a new guard player is that if you compare it to people in the UK, because we just couldn't get, like, the game wasn't as accessible here.
No, it was
way back in the day. And so it's, you've got all these people that have been, that are our age, that have been playing since they were like 7 or 8, but we just like straight up could not get it back then. So that's why I always feel
exactly. The difference is, like, I could get what I got because it just happened to be at the comic book store where I went.
Yeah.
And these were like 2 or 3 boxes nestled between Ralpartha metal dragons.
Yeah.
And knowing that one of them was for D&D and the other one was for a completely different game meant nothing to me at that age.
Right.
But I still got excited about the lore. I really got excited about all these drawings of spaceships and all that. So I really got into it, but not enough to be into the original Rogue Trader game.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like you say, like nowadays, like I realize, yeah, I have been in here for more than, I don't know what, 9th edition. So I've been here for 7 editions of this game.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we've been here for a while.
We get people in. We're big first ones free players. Like, our friends get very hobby bullied on a regular basis.
They do, to the point I'm the kind of guy who I have in the past just painted armies and given them to people as like a here's your first dose for free.
Yep.
Hop on in. I'm the corrupter. I've corrupted people in previous friendships to the point where I've annoyed them. So I'm very much a fanatic. I've done my fair share of complaining about Games Workshop. I've also been a volunteer for Games Workshop in past situations. Canada had their equivalent of the Outrider program was the Grey Knights way back when we had our own events called Conflicts, which were miniature games days, if you will. And so I've been involved in this hobby in every fashion possible, except working from Games Workshop. They want nothing to do with me. And I have tried.
Yes. Well,
so that's it, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you feel we need to tackle?
No, I'm very excited about this. I hope everybody else is very excited about this. If you have things that you would like us to talk about outside of whatever new stuff comes our way, we do have an email address, and that will be at the end of the show. I think that's everything else, though.
That is everything. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for listening. We're happy that you are on this ride with us, and we'll talk to you again soon. Materials shown in this video are provided fully or in part by Games Workshop for promotional purposes. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping us a like and subscribing. Thanks for watching.